So now we are bringing up, this lady, she's done it, man. She has unlocked the ability for so many people to be able to live their dreams in the next chapter of their life and do it all debt-free. Yes. So let's bring it up for Evangelist Bertha Winston.
Here today.
Yes, yeah.
Here in Canada.
Yeah.
First time.
Yes.
Awesome. So glad to be with you, phenomenal women and men. And let's give yourselves a hand.
Yeah.
Let's give these hosts a great round of applause. So much hard work that they put into. Anyway, how many in the room are retired?
From the corporate.
Hands again?
From the corporate world.
How many are planning on retiring? Soon? No?
Powering up.
Powering up. Okay. All right. Today we're going to talk about, let me ask this other question. How many baby boomers are in the house?
Hey.
All right. Okay. So I'm one of the baby boomers too. Where'd she go? She's 71. 70. I'm 73. Soon I'm going to be 74. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Bertha Winston. I'm an evangelist. I am a author, 5-time bestseller, co-author, first-time bestseller, my own book, and last month I did 3 anthologies.
Ooh.
Including the one that we're in here for today. One of them is really my heart that we did out of Nigeria called The Presence of His Glory. I am so excited about that. And I'm excited about it because it came out of Nigeria and it's a devotional book. So I'm real excited about that. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. Married to the same man 55 years. I have 3 beautiful children, grandmother, great-grandmother, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I own a venue back in Maryland. So I'm excited about that. So, I just retired from my corporate job. December 2023.
Yes.
And I am debt-free. So that's what I want to talk about today. We as baby boomers, we retire, and we retire with too much debt.
Yes.
There are qualities that we need, have qualities of being financially successful. First, you got to invest in your future. Secondly, you got to become ownership of your decisions and financially. And then you got to be disciplined. And that's what we don't want to do. We don't want to be disciplined. So, most retirees retire with too much debt because of insufficient planning. They don't plan properly. So, in order to become debt-free, you have to make some financial decision early on. You have to make up your mind that you want to retire debt-free. So, we work 40 hours for 40 years, and we only end up with 40% of our salaries. And if you can't make it off 100% of your salary, you're definitely not going to make it on 40%. And I had to come to that conclusion. 4 years ago, I decided I wanted to retire, but when I did an examination of my finances, I was not prepared to retire. And so I had to work 4 more years in order to retire and be debt-free. So I had to come up with some strategies. How many want to know about strategies?
I love it.
You can't work your way to wealth. You got to strategize your way to wealth.
That's right.
And I want to be wealthy. And the only way you could do that, you have to strategize your way. So I learned some strategies on how to become debt-free and how to be stress-free. Because when you're debt-free, you're stress-free.
Yes.
So today I want to talk about how you can do that. So first of all, when we are working a corporate job, we have choices. The choices, when I started working in the corporate world, they had something called pension. Well, they did away with that, which is not a good thing. So now you got to do a 401k or thrift savings or something to that nature on your job. And then a lot of us don't even take advantage of it. And if they are matching or giving you a percentage of your salary, then you need to take advantage of the 401k, the 401b, and thrift saving plans. How many are taking advantage of your 401k, 401b, and your thrift savings? I was taking advantage of that. And if you're not, you're leaving money on the table. Finances is something that we don't really want to talk about, but you must talk about them because you got to make plans. And if you want to retire and be debt-free, you got to make some strategic planning early on. So I kind of go with this concept in the workforce when I was working. I pay myself 10%, I give God 10%, and the 80% is left for paying bills. So how many know about that concept? Great, that's good. And we're not told that we need to pay ourselves, but we do need to pay ourselves while we're working, because that is going to get you where you need to be when you retire. So you're going to have some challenges. You're going to have to discipline yourself. You're going to have to not buy everything that you think you need or you want. So you're going to have to scale down some things. You're going to have to take control of your finances. There are some places that you may not be able to go. There are some vacations you may not be able to take because you're on a schedule. You're on a budget. You need to budget for those things. You need to have a fund even for vacation. So what happened with me when I decided that I needed to work those strategies, I had to change my mindset. When you want to get to the next level, whether it's in business or whether it's in your finances, you have to make some strategic decisions and you have to make some choices that you normally wouldn't probably make. So I had to evaluate where I was financially. I was living paycheck to paycheck. Anybody in here was there and been there? Okay, it's nothing to be ashamed of. We all have been there. But when you know better, you do better. Hey, look. So when I started evaluating where I was financially, I was like, Dr. May, something is going on here. Something got to change. I'm not where I need to be, or neither am I where I want to be. So I decided I had to make some changes. So I started working strategies. First, I didn't have no emergency fund. Did you know that 80% of individuals, maybe some of you in here, don't have $500 in your emergency fund? I didn't have no emergency fund. My emergency fund was my credit card, and that's a no-no. That's a no-no. So I learned that my credit card couldn't be my emergency fund. I had to open up an emergency fund and have a true emergency fund. At least $3,000 to $5,000 in your account. That's a true emergency fund. Because emergency is going to happen. So you need to have that extra emergency fund. I didn't have no investments. That was a dirty word to me. I didn't know anything about investment. Don't even say that. What is that? What do you do? How do you invest? But working strategies, I learned about this. I learned financial literacy. You have to learn what to do with your money. Your money got to work for you. You don't work for the money. I learned that. I always was working for the money, but now I found out the money has to work for you. But you have to put it in some asset returns that will make your money work for you. You can't just stick it there. You have to put your money somewhere where it's going to earn interest and assets. So, I didn't have no emergency fund. I didn't have no investments. I was living paycheck to paycheck, broke, busted, and disgusted. And that's when I say something has to change. So, when I started working those strategies, I became mindful of how I spend my money. I started my emergency fund. I started investing in a T. Rowe Price, Charles Schwab. I started working on my credit. That's another thing. You got to work on your credit. You have to know where you are. Because if you want to go and purchase something, your credit is one of those things that they check when you're going to buy a house, when you're going to buy a car, and you know that if your credit is jacked up, you're going to pay interest, more interest than you would have if your credit was good. So when I started working on myself, disciplining myself, when I started working on my credit, when I started investing, when I started putting money aside for my emergency, and when I started disciplining myself, I started cutting back on eating out. Sometimes you just gotta cut it. I started calling companies and downsizing things that I didn't need. Like with your cell phone, you don't need all them whistles. We got all these whistles, I can't even use it. I don't even know how to use the one I got. So I started asking them to lower my cell phone bill, your gas bill, your water bill. These are things that you have got to do if you want to have the money that you need when you retire. So after working all of those strategies, man, I have like 4 investments account. I have a true emergency fund, over $5,000. I started working on my credit. My credit is an 800 plus. I stopped using the credit cards. Now all the credit card companies are sending me cards. I get a check in the mail. Well, you can for 12 months or 15 months, you just write a check to yourself and you can just deposit it in the bank. When you become disciplined, you shred them. I get them every day. Those credit cards that I do have, now that they are zero balance, they raising my credit score. They raising the credit limit, which is good because I have more history. I have more utilizations on my credit cards. But you know, we get caught up with the credit cards and we start swiping and swiping and swiping. And a mentor once said to me, interest on a credit card is it's something that you get in advance that you can't afford. Because if you could afford it, you would have bought it without your credit card. So it's all right to have a credit card. Just use discipline with it. And so when I'm out talking to my clients, that's one thing I tell them. If you're going to use your credit card, use discipline with it. Because interest, I think statistics says that about 50% of everybody that have a credit card, they just pay the minimum amount. And if you just pay the minimum amount, if you read your statement, it'll tell you how long it takes you to pay that credit card off. A long time. But that interest that you're paying, you're not really paying the credit card, you're paying interest. And I've made up in my mind, we're going to make somebody rich, so why not myself?
That's right.
You're going to make somebody rich, why not yourself? So I came to the conclusion, I'm going to make myself rich. I'm going to be wealthy. I'm going to take ownership. I'm going to take control of my finances. I'm going to teach the masses that being in debt, you are indebted to the credit card company and not yourself. The Bible said that the borrower is slave to the lender. And I don't want to be a slave to my lender. And also, it said if the blind leading the blind, we all fall in the ditch. I don't want to fall in the ditch. I want to lead someone out of the ditch. I want to lead someone out of poverty. Because when I grew up on a farm, sharecropping, making $2 a day in the hot sun. Day from sun up to sundown. I didn't want that either. So when I started making a 6 figures income, and I look back where I came from, I don't look like what I've been through, y'all.
Yes.
So I'm excited to be here to tell you that poverty is not what God would have you to be.
No.
He said, I wish that you would be prosperous and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So in closing, the masses, I'm passionate about financial literacy. That's why I teach about becoming debt-free and stress-free. There are some forms that was passed out to you on the table. I would like for you to go to that QR code. And as another sheet that she's passed out to you, I would like for you to evaluate yourself where you are financially. So if you go to that barcode, I have a free gift for you today. I have about 30 of them I'm going to pass out to you. It's a little token that I would like to give you for free. It's a pen with a crystal on it. I have 30. So my helper over there, Lena, when I get finished, you show her that you went to my website, you would get one of these beautiful pens with a crystal on the bottom of it. So, as I always say, you don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to get started to get great. So why not get started today? Take control of your finances, retire debt-free and stress-free. And that's my time.